Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time being here, hi, I'm Stephanie and I'm so happy that you decided to click on this video, and I hope you will stick around and check out my other videos in the past and also check out my future content that I plan on doing. I haven't been around on YouTube for a little while, so I'm just getting back into the swing of things, and I'm still not fully comfortable being in front of the camera, so I'm still getting used to it. So if I get tongue-tied or trip up on my words a little bit, just bear with me. But yeah, so let's just get into it. Today's video is a Books A Million haul. It's gonna be a very small haul because I wasn't able to get very many things, just because I got a gift card for Christmas, and that's all that I used. I didn't really spend a lot of money, but I did get a few interesting books. The first one I got here is called Beach Read by Emily Henry. I was looking for her book, The People We Meet on Vacation. I heard good things about that book, but I couldn't find it, so I came across this one, and the little synopsis on the back says, Augustus Everett is an acclaimed author of literary fiction. January Andrews writes best-selling romance. When she pens A Happily Ever After, he kills off his entire cast. They're polar opposites. In fact, the only thing they have in common is that for the next 3 months, they're living in neighboring beach houses, broke and bogged down with writer's block. Then one hazy evening, one thing leads to another, and they strike a deal designed to force them out of their creative ruts. Augustus will spend the summer writing something happy, and January will pen the next great American novel. She'll take him on field trips worthy of any rom-com montage, and he'll take her to interview surviving members of a backwoods death cult, obviously. Everyone will finish a book, and no one will fall in love, really. So this sounds really good, so I decided to pick that up. The next thing I found was called The Surgeon by Tess Gerritsen. If you've watched the TNT series Rizzoli and Isles, this is basically those stories. So I found this book, The Surgeon. I actually found 3 books of hers in this Rizzoli and Isles series, and I wanted to only get one because I didn't want to spend the whole like gift card on like one author. So I tried to pick just one of the 3 books, but I ended up picking 2. I really wanted to get all 3 of them, but I only had so much to spend, so I got The Surgeon and Vanish. And so The Surgeon says, he slips into homes at night and walks silently into bedrooms where women lie sleeping, about to awaken to a living nightmare. The precision of his methods suggests that he is a deranged man of medicine, prompting the Boston newspapers to dub him the Surgeon. Led by detectives Thomas More and Jane Rizzoli, the cops must consult the victim of a nearly identical crime. 2 years ago, Dr. Catherine Cordell fought back and killed an attacker before he could complete his assault. Now this new killer is recreating with chilling accuracy the details of Cordell's ordeal. With every new murder, he seems to be taunting her, cutting ever closer from her hospital to her home, and neither Moore nor Rizzoli can protect Cordell from a ruthless hunter who somehow understands and savors the secret fears of every woman he kills. So I was looking for a fictional like serial killer story, and I came across this and thought I would check it out. And so then Vanish says, a nameless woman appears to be just another body at the morgue until Boston medical examiner Maura Isles sees the corpse open its eyes. The now frantic Jane Doe is rushed to the hospital, where with cool precision she shoots a security guard and seizes hostages, one of whom is pregnant homicide detective Jane Rizzoli. As the tense hours tick by, Maura joins forces with Jane's husband, FBI agent Gabriel Dean, to track down the killer's identity. But this case goes far deeper than just an ordinary hostage crisis, and Jane, trapped with an armed madwoman, is the only one who holds the key to the mystery. So I went with that one as well. The other one, I think it was called The Last to Die or something like that. It was, if I remember correctly, it was about a boy who escaped a killer twice and them trying to protect him. I don't remember exactly, but I will probably end up going back and getting that one at some point when I can. And then the last book that I picked up, I just came across. I went in there not really knowing exactly what I wanted. I had a couple books in mind that I unfortunately couldn't find. So I saw this one and thought it seemed good. It's called They Wish They Were Us by Jessica Goodman. And it says, it's a miracle anyone gets out of high school alive. In Gold Coast, Long Island, everything from the expensive downtown shops to the manicured beaches to the press uniforms of Jill Newman and her friends looks perfect. But as Jill found out 3 years ago, nothing is as it seems. Freshman year, Jill's best friend, the brilliant, dazzling Shayla Arnold, was killed by her boyfriend. After that dark night on the beach, Graham confessed, the case was closed, and Jill tried to move on. Now it's Jill's senior year, and she's determined to make it her best. After all, she's a senior and a player, a member of Gold Coast Prep's exclusive, not-so-secret society. Senior players have the best parties, the highest grades, and the admiration of the entire school. This is going to be Jill's year, she's sure of it. But when Jill starts getting texts proclaiming Graham's innocence, her dreams of the perfect senior year start to crumble. If Graham didn't kill Shayla, who did? Jill vows to find out, but digging deeper means putting her friendships and her future in jeopardy. So, I love mystery style books, and that sounded really cool. So, it was like a young adult novel, so I picked that up. And then, just for fun, I didn't get these at Books A Million, but I did get them as Christmas gifts. And I'm pretty sure you could find all three of these books at Books A Million as well. So, first, I got The Outsiders, which is my absolute favorite book of all time. I read this for the first time in 8th grade with my English class, and this is the only book I have read countless times and can still read it over and over and over again. It just never gets old. And I'm sure a lot of you book readers probably know what this book is about and probably have read it in school too. But it says, a heroic story of friendship and belonging. No one ever said life was easy, but Ponyboy is pretty sure he's got things figured out. He knows that he can count on his brothers, Derry and Soda Pop, and he knows he can count on his friends, true friends who would do anything for him, like Johnny and Two-Bit. And when it comes to the socius, a vicious gang of rich kids who enjoy beating up on greasers like him and his friends, he knows that he can count on them for trouble. But one night, someone takes things too far, and Ponyboy's world is turned upside down. So, I actually had this book already, but I got it as a Christmas gift from my parents, which is honestly a funny story because I had recently participated in a Secret Santa book exchange where we, get a Secret Santa person and we send them a book, but to add to it, we were supposed to send like our favorite book or a book that meant something to us. So I sent my person The Outsiders because it was my favorite book. So I sent her my copy, and my parents just so happened to get me another copy, so now I still have it. So there's that. And then my husband bought me 2 books. He bought me this book, The Last Flight by Julie Clark. I've never heard of this book or this author, but he read the synopsis on the back and thought it sounded interesting. So it says, 2 women, 2 flights, 1 chance to disappear. You might know a husband like Claire's, ambitious, admired, with deep pockets, but behind closed doors he has a temper that burns as bright as his promising political career. And he's not above using his staff to track Claire's every move. What he doesn't know is that Claire has worked for months on a plan to vanish. A chance meeting in an airport brings her together with a woman who seems equally desperate to flee her life. Together they make a last-minute decision to switch tickets. Claire taking Eva's flight to Oakland, and Eva traveling to Puerto Rico as Claire. But when the Puerto Rico plane crashes, Claire's options narrow to one impossible choice: assume Eva's identity, and along with it, the secrets Eva fought so hard to keep hidden. With your back against a wall, would you be brave enough to take the chance you're given? So that definitely sounds interesting. I cannot wait to read this one. And then the last book I got, which I'm sure a lot of you will recognize, is You. I did watch a few episodes of season 1, never finished, so I'm way behind on the show, but I do know basically what it's about, so I'm pretty excited to read this book. Like I said, you guys probably already know what You is about, but I'll go ahead and read the back anyway. It says, when a beautiful, aspiring writer strides into the East Village bookstore where Joe Goldberg works, he does what anyone would do. He Googles a name on her credit card. There is only one Guinevere Beck in New York City. She has a public Facebook account and tweets incessantly, telling Joe everything he needs to know. She is simply Beck to her friends. She went to Brown University. She lives on Bank Street, and she'll be at a bar in Brooklyn tonight. The perfect place for a chance meeting. As Joe invisibly and obsessively takes control of Beck's life, he begins quietly removing the obstacles that stand in the way of their love. Joe will do anything to ensure Beck finds herself in his waiting arms, even if it means murder. So even just seeing just the few episodes I've watched, I know this book is going to be really good. So that is definitely high up on the list to read. So it is the new year, and lots of people are coming up with, New Year's resolutions, which I have not done in a long time. But since I'm on a journey to read more and get back into books and everything, I have decided for the year of 2022, I'm going to read 25 books. And that sounds like a lot at first, but it breaks down to about 2 books a month, which is totally doable. And if I can do that, then maybe I can do more over the following years. And that is all of the new books that I got so far. I do plan on getting more books later on in the future, but for now, that's what I've got. And I also have plenty of other books that I haven't read yet. If you would like a video where I show you my entire book collection, I would love to do that. I have lots of books that I think you guys would enjoy. So if you'd like to see my entire book collection, leave a comment below and I would love to do that. So I've already read 2 books since I've started getting back into reading, and I think you guys would enjoy it. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about those. They're both actually new as well. I just got them both a few months ago. So the first book I read was Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. And this book is fantastic. It's definitely 18 plus. There's some mature content in here. So the synopsis on the back says, it's not exactly love at first sight for Tate Collins when she meets the tormented and secretive Miles Archer. They wouldn't even go so far as to consider themselves friends, but the only thing that Tate and Miles have in common is a mutual physical attraction that can't be denied. Once their desires are out in the open, they realize they might have stumbled on the perfect no strings arrangement. He isn't looking for love, and she doesn't have time for it, so that just leaves the sex. What they've got could be surprisingly satisfying as long as Tate can stick to the 2 rules Miles has for her. Never ask about the past, don't expect the future. They think they can handle it, but everything is different when real emotions start to change the equation. Hearts get infiltrated, promises get broken, rules get shattered, love gets ugly. This book, I tell you, is amazing. It was so much more than I expected. It is a different kind of love story. It definitely will tug at your heartstrings. I was all the emotions, happy, sad, angry. I cried. It's just a tearjerker. It's beautifully written. It's definitely worth the read. So check that out if you have not already. And then the second book that I read recently, I just finished it a couple days ago. It is called The Penpal by Storm Young. And this young lady self-published this book on Amazon, and it is available on Amazon or Kindle Unlimited. So this is the first book of many. She has other books planned in the future. She plans on making this a series, so I'm very excited for the rest of the series. This says Shiloh, a new mother and military wife, is left alone to face the Alaskan wilderness by herself. Dealing with postpartum depression and all-around loneliness, she reaches out and joins a Penpal group. Over time, she is matched with Penelope Young. They become the best of friends and bond, talking about the struggles of motherhood. They write to each other constantly until one day the letters stop. Penelope has vanished. Can Shiloh figure out what happened to her friend before it is too late? Y'all, this book is so good. The story is so creative and the storyline is fantastic. It's very well written. I can't say enough good things about this. I have actually spoken with Storm via Facebook messages, and she is such a lovely person. I absolutely love this book. There's so many like unexpected twists, things I was not expecting to happen, and I just love the characters. The character of Darius is probably my favorite. Darius and Jeff are both really great characters, but Darius is probably my favorite. I absolutely love this book, and I cannot wait for her to write more and continue the story. It's so good, and I really, really suggest and recommend you guys checking this book out because it's phenomenal. So those are the books that I've read so far, and these books over here are ones that I'm going to be reading in the coming year. And maybe I'll do more book related videos. I think what I'd like to do is maybe like every 3 months do like a quarterly update on the books that I've read and tell you without spoilers what I think and how they are. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I'm so excited to get back into reading and maybe even writing my own stories, maybe even someday publishing my own book. So just be on the lookout for that as well. So if you have any suggestions on videos you'd like to see from me, please leave a comment below. If you have any book suggestions, anything that I should check out, also leave that in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye.